Hello, everyone. We are live. It is 26 minutes past 8 in Italy. Today is the 15th day in the month of July 2025. I am doing amazing. How are you doing? Now, are you struggling with the Patente B theory test? If yes, you're not alone. We are in this together. I have tried to do this live numerous times, specifically, this is the top time. And yeah, there's always something wrong with it. And I want to put this out there. I want to say thank you to those of you that engaged with me yesterday. It is greatly appreciated. Today, I will be sharing my struggles with preparing for the Patente B examination. Also, I will be sharing tips on how to navigate preparation for the examination. So far, studying has been slow but steady. I have completed 57% of the quiz with 4,132 out of 7,143 questions answered in the past 3 months, almost 3 months. Next week, it will be 3 months. I have also finished 19 out of the 25 chapters in the material. So I feel like I'm doing well, but the process of getting to this point has been really difficult, time consuming, and yeah, let me know, how are you doing with your Patente B theory exam preparation? Let me know in the chat and let's bond over our struggles. Now, how confident am I? I'm skeptical. My teacher encouraged me to try writing the exam because, based on his assessment, I am good to go. However, I feel that I am not ready until I have completed the material and have a solid understanding of every chapter. The goal is not to know everything, just for me to have enough information on each chapter. So no matter how they decide to tweak the question or turn it upside down, it would not matter to me as much. So if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Gloria, and I am a Nigerian living in Italy. I've been in Italy for a while, and on this channel, I try to share tips on how to enjoy your stay in Italy. If this sounds like your cup of tea, do well to join the family. And if you are just joining us, feel free to say hello in the chat and let me know where you are joining from. Now, my struggles with the Patente B theory tests. I started studying for the theory exam in April of this year. At first, it was challenging, even for someone who has a lot of has great knowledge of the Italian language. It is challenging, not to talk of me that just have some Italian. I um encountered new vocabulary words, technical terms, which had me doing a lot of research and translations, and this took a lot of time. And I know you're going through the same if you're just studying for the patent examination, especially as a non-first language Italian speaker. Now, if you don't speak Italian or you don't have any Italian, Italian is your first language. Yeah, I know you should have this struggle. That was a bit of a tongue twister. And yeah, so that has been my struggle. The process hasn't been enjoyable. it gets frustrating sometimes, but giving up is not an option for me. Yeah, I think it's not an option for you also. And we are we are on the same boat. Let's sail together. Hopefully we win. Yeah. Over time, it got better. I study daily, and on days when I am not studying, I do quiz. I do a lot of quiz, and that's because daily practice is important. You don't want to skip one day and a day turns into two to three into a week, and the next time you're picking up your material to do quiz, you are now averaging 20% of the total error, which is not a good thing. Like it means, yeah, you are retrogressing. So I would say do quiz every day, because that's what I do. I tend to do quiz every day. Even if it's one, I'll do the quiz and go about my business. I try to do quiz every day. And if possible, I pick up my material and study. But I do quiz, and quiz. One more thing I'm struggling with is working with a specific time frame in mind now, because you're registered to, I am registered to a driving school. How it works is you get 6 months to write the examination while you are registered to a driving school. Okay, so within these 6 months, you must write the examination, and you have two chances to write the examination. So if for any reason you don't pass the examination, you have to rewrite within that 6 months. If the 6 month time is done, you have to resubscribe to the driving school, and yeah, have them hold your hands again. Because of this, I have to like do everything very quickly. It's good and it's not good, given that the material is so difficult for me to study. Like, for instance, the material, if I get a material in English, I can study a chapter, let's not say read, study a chapter within, depending on how much it is, I can study a chapter within 30 minutes. In the Italian, you need like 2 hours to get it done. And that's because while studying, you meet like bumps, and you need to do research, you need to like understand it. So this has really slowed down my studying process, and 6 months is a lot, but at the same time it is not too much. Yeah, so that is what I've been struggling with when it comes to the preparation for the Patente examination. Now, feel free to let me know in the comments what you're struggling with in the chat, so we can talk about that and how you can navigate it. Because now I'm almost, by God's grace, this month I should be done with the material, the itself. Then I can start doing quiz back to back to back. Yes, the struggle is real. Now, here are some tips for preparing for the Patente B examination. You might be like, what qualifies you to talk about Patente B and give advice or tips? You've not written the examination. You've not even passed the examination. Just go and give us tips. Well, I think I'm in a sweet spot right now. I'm doing well. My pace is not bad. And if you are lagging behind, I think these tips could help you. For it will be helpful to those who are just starting, who are finding it difficult to study, who are not sure if this thing will work for them. This is just to encourage you, and maybe these tips will like guide you on things to do in order to have this Patente B finally. And yeah, so what qualifies me? So far, I have completed 57% of the quiz with 4,132 out of 7,143 questions answered in the past 3 months. I have also finished 19 out of 25 chapters, and I know I'm not alone in this. Okay. So the first thing I would say you do, or the first tip or suggestion I'll give to you, is to acknowledge your abilities. This will come handy to those who are not sure on the route to go when it comes to approaching the examination, or to when they don't know, when you don't know the route to go, if to study by yourself or join a driving school. Now, the first thing I'll say you do is just acknowledge your abilities. Can you study on your own, or do you need guidance? Determine how much help you might need in order to succeed. This will save you a lot of headache, a lot of trouble, and I think it's a great point to start. What is your lifestyle saying? What is your pocket saying? How much time do you have to dedicate to this school, or to this studying pattern that will help you get to where you need to go? Once you are able to acknowledge your ability, and you are able to make a decision based on this, I think navigating the rest will be easy. So now you know, or when you've acknowledged your ability, you now have to decide on the option that best suits you. So it could be driving school, it could be studying for yourself. The two options are valid. But you need to keep in mind that if you choose to go with driving school, if you choose to go to the driving school, you will pay more. You have limited time. And what else? Yeah, you pay more, you have limited time, and the class is in Italian. Most of the classes are in Italian, except you choose to go to a school that teaches in English, which is not advisable because you're writing the examination in English, so in Italian. So why do you have to go to an English driving school? At least for me, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, if you decide to study for yourself, you pay less. You have unlimited time, and you can study in whatever language you want. Just make sure that at the end of the day, you can write the examination in Italian. Now, the driving school, for the driving school, you should be paying around 550 to 600 euros. If you decide to study by yourself, you should get something like 200 euro lesser. I confirmed this with friends. Now I have a friend that will tell you, just go to a driving school. Studying by yourself is a waste of time, because at the end of the day you have to pay. Yes, you have to pay, but 200 euros lesser is something. She came to this conclusion because she studied by herself, and when she approached the school or the state to like write the examination and get lessons, she paid in total 350 euros, and she was not happy about it. So from her point of view, if you ask her what option would you recommend, she would tell you just go to a driving school. Then because I was not sure about our assessment, I reached out to another assistant friend, and she said, yes, you'll pay, but yeah, it will be 200 euros lesser, if not more, because that 200 euros is the money you pay to the school for the subscription. So it depends on you and how you want to work. Now, the driving school, if you go to the driving school, as I mentioned, you pay around 650. They will give you books. Speaking of books, here are some of the materials that they gave to me. This is one that they gave to me. Everything is included, plus this one right here. I love this one. Oh, upside down. Okay. I love this one a lot. The tag book. I don't even pick up this one because the tag book, I don't pick up this one. The tag book makes it so easy. Like you just like glide over the material. So I love my tag book. So those are the materials they gave to me. They're all in Italian. And yeah, if you decide to study by yourself, you have to buy books. for yourself, and you have to decide on the best material to buy. Check for recommendations, do research. I can't recommend anything to you because I don't know. So yeah, there are some people who swear by a particular material in English, but I still don't understand how you can study in English and to write an examination in Italian. It is risky if you ask me. Just saying. Now, if you need extra help with preparation, there are a lot of resources that you can take advantage of. You can join TikTok live quiz sessions, and I feel like they're very helpful. I have never joined them. I don't have experience with them, but when people you're going through TikTok, if you see these live sessions, there are always people that are joined, that are connected to this live, and if they are not getting value from the live, I don't think they'll spend their evenings doing quiz with someone. Yeah. So I think it's adding value to people. If it's a way through which you feel you can learn, and it is free, and you feel you want to give it a try, TikTok. You don't even need to scroll too much. I don't know if it's just my FYP for you page. Yes, FYP. I'm old like that. Yeah, I don't know if it's my for you page, but anytime I scroll, I'm always seeing these people, and I don't know how TikTok knows that I'm actually studying for Patente, but I've never joined them. Hopefully, this would help you. And yeah, while you're there, show support. And show support, be kind, show support if they're adding value to you. Show support. There are different systems through which you can show support on TikTok. Not like YouTube here where I don't get any support. Not that I don't get any support, I have support. But yeah, you watch my video, you don't even like, no comments, you just watch and go. It's on Instagram, I start getting messages. I'm like, anyways, anyways. Another way through which you can get help is by joining groups. There are support groups on Facebook, there are support groups on TikTok, which have no, there's no support group on TikTok, but there's support groups on Facebook, and yeah, I think it's just Facebook. Yeah, it's just Facebook. Support group on Facebook and WhatsApp. Yes, WhatsApp. Yes, I'm on one. I joined one on WhatsApp. We just created it, I think last week. We just started studying together last week. Now, in the previous video, I talked about Black women in Italy and how we are supporting each other. We have this WhatsApp group. Cool, fun, love it. Now, in that group, we're able to create another group, but one of the members just like suggested that she's studying for the patente. If you want to study for the patente, let's study together. I thought it was very smart. Then I joined the group, and we last week started studying. And the concept is every week one person will pick a topic and teach the topic. We talk about the topic, which is a very, very good strategy, because for you to be able to teach a topic, you should have enough knowledge about that topic. You don't want to fall your hand, or you don't want to embarrass yourself. So you have to go and study very well, so you can at least flex your teachers teaching skills. So yeah, I taught first last week, and I still have a class this week before we transition into the next material or the next stage of the studying. Now, this is something that you can find and try to join. I'm not sure if I can invite people to join the group. So these groups are things you should consider joining. Just find different support systems on across social media platforms, and I feel you can get help. Another tip I'll give is to do quiz and study. I feel like no matter how much help you're doing, you still need to study. You still need to work hard so you can get good success. So study and practice the quizzes. Doing quizzes can be a very useful way of like reinforcing reinforcing the learning. So I would say do a lot of that. And yeah, you should be good to go. As I mentioned earlier, I'm this kind of learner that love to study the material, understand the general concept, and know a little more. Um, some other people, some others, or some people, they prefer studying with the quiz, and I don't know how that works. My system of studying with the quiz is doing the quiz with the mindset of studying it. So, for instance, I'm not testing myself. So, probably I'm not sure what the answer to this question is. I just click, there's this icon which you can click, and it will give you like general breakdown on the topic, and you can read it, comprehend it, then go back to do the quiz. So, that is how I study with quiz. But some people, they do quiz back to back to back to back. And their mindset is the more I see this question, the more I get used to it. The more I see these questions, the more I know that this answer is correct. This answer, I don't, this answer is correct. This answer is wrong. I don't know how that works, but I know that cannot work for me. So I do a lot of studying. I do a lot of quiz, and my quiz sessions could be either study time or test time. So my study time is when I don't put any pressure on myself to remember the answer. If I don't remember, I check the answer, the full explanation. Then I come back to answer the question. And yeah, the test time is when don't check. I don't check for help. I do the quiz, and yeah. So it depends. It totally depends on you and how you study. But in all, study and practice. Study and practice. I think this will help you because you don't want to get to that point, speaking from experience. You don't want to get to that point where you skip studying today, skip quiz today, skip studying today, skip quiz tomorrow. And by the time you get back to it, it's like you're in a lost paradise or in a world that you've never seen before. It can get like that sometimes. So keep practicing, and I feel you should be good to go. Now, quick question. Do you consider quiz time a study time or test time? Let me know in the chat. Me back. Finally, do you do your quizzes in English or Italian? How does it work with you? How do you do your quiz? English, Italian? If English, please explain to me how does that work? Because personally, studying for me involves learning the question patterns of a chapter of a topic. So I go because I don't have a lot of Italian. I just check for the question patterns and try to understand the question patterns. And yeah, but if you are studying English, how can you understand the question patterns in Italian, and how can you even write the examination in Italian? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe Nami no sabi how how to move. Now, before I leave, I want to quickly mention that I'm thinking of doing live quiz sessions on this channel. Not because I know what I'm doing, not because I'm perfect, not because I am a know-all, but because I want to practice. I want to hold myself accountable. Now, if you are interested in studying with me, that would be nice. I don't know when that will start, but I'd really love to have you join, maybe tomorrow or next, because I always do quiz questions. And yesterday I was even talking about it. I was saying maybe we'll organize it. You should message me on TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, go check me out on there. Follow me and let's connect on there. I'm a bit chatty. Now, after the live yesterday, I was thinking that's not necessary. I don't need crowd to start what I want to start. No offense. I don't need crowd to start what I want to start. I can just start, and those who want to join will join. I'll come on live on this channel, answer questions, and yeah, it doesn't matter if I fail everything or get it. It doesn't matter to me. The most important is that I am practicing, working on it, and we can start together. So let me know what you think in the comments, because I thought of it a lot, and I feel this option is something I can work with. So this is it for this live. I would say thank you to those of you who have joined, who joined the live. You're greatly appreciated, and hopefully we get to build a community and connect through social media. I'll catch you in my next live. Hopefully, I'll be out here doing my quiz live. Bye for now. Bye for now. Bye.